I'm Jamal Perry, and you're watching Stormwatch. On today's show, we'll be bedazzled by some makeup tips from Veronica Mosley. Then we'll start cooking up some delicious dishes with Zelina Van in the culinary department, as well as some classic international grub featuring Aaron Hall. Then we'll also be given an inside look on sports from around the globe with Emmanuel Espino. Kyle Rogers gives us a blast from the past on a little history. Carl Culpepper will fill us in on tips for registration. And finally, we'll meet up with Chris Horton as he sits down with a fellow MATC alum and her experience on being an international student. Makeup. It can brighten many lives, as well as making someone's confidence grow. Have you ever thought about what goes into it? Here's a demonstration from Veronica Mosley as she shows you beginner's tips.
Okay, go. As the holidays approach, it may become time to meet the folks. I'm Veronica, and this is Beginner's Luck Makeup 101. With foundation, there are two areas to check in order to see which one will match your skin tone. The first is your wrist. The second, it's your jawline. Let's begin first with the hand. When you're doing foundation, try a shade lighter and a shade darker. With my model, she's applied the cocoa, and it's a no-go. Next up is brown sugar. As you can see, it melts directly in the skin. And finally, blush sable. Blush sable is a little bit on the red side, I will admit. If she were just to apply this to her face, you would say, I can definitely tell where your real skin tone is. When you have foundation, you want to get it as close as possible to your skin. Makeup to your wrist, you have to know that it may be off. The reason why it's off is because your face may be darker or lighter depending on season, if you go out, if you're always in the outdoors, that sort of thing. So even though I prefer the wrist, most people go to number 2, which is the jawline. In fact, that is the number 1 place that people will often go and put their makeup on to see which one matches. So I'm using the darkest color, and what I'm doing, whoop, little swoop right there. Ooh-wee. Now for me, I actually have 2 foundations. I have the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous shade in Tawny, as well as Kat Von D's Lock It Tattoo foundation. What I can tell you is that they are both very similar, but they do have very different tones. Just watch. As you can tell, this one is very red, almost. And as you can tell with this one, it's much more golden. Both of these I enjoy, I love, but as you can see, it's blending into my skin and it matches. The same for Kat Von D. Both of these actually work for me. However, from what you can tell, I can either go from golden or I can go to a very almost reddish shade. The great thing about makeup, even throughout my 6 years, is that you can only grow from there. As long as you have the foundation down, your solid base of what works and what doesn't, sky's the limit. Go all out. If it doesn't work, find another foundation that does. That's the great thing about makeup, because you can do whatever you want to do. So I'll let you guys figure out what you want to do. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Wow, that was awesome. I never thought about how foundation could change your face. Next, are you hungry? Because the culinary arts students are one of the faves here at MATC. Let's see how students got so good.
Culinary Arts program is one of the most successful programs that MATC has. Students learn everything from learning to cook beautiful cuisine to running an upscale restaurant.
What makes us unique is this program, this class here. Cuisine is very unique. It's run by students in the front of the house, and it's ran completely by students in the back of the house, and that's what we're known for. People come to the restaurant to see the students live.
Instructors have been professional chefs before coming back and teaching at MATC. They still learn from the students like the students are learning from them.
I've been in the industry for 20 years and I learned something from students as well almost daily. So it's really exciting to be around all that energy and to be, having my hands on food on a daily basis.
You still have to learn the who, the what, the when, the where, and the what of food.
The basics. I've learned stock soups and sauces. Stocks is the basics to most flavoring. Chicken stock, beef stock. A lot of foods are based in sauce in some way.
If you're serious about becoming a chef, you should probably do a couple of things before you enroll.
Work in the industry before they enroll in the program for at least a short period of time or spend some time in a professional kitchen.
For more information, go to matc.edu, and this is Delina Van with Stormwatch.
If I wasn't your host, I'd be a chef. I wish I could cook like that. As you may already know, today is the first day of open registration. Your own Carl Culpepper went down to the Welcome Center to go through the process and show how simple it is and give you some worthy tips.
I'm here at the Welcome Center in the S Building, that is located on 7th and State. Today is the first day of registration, and I decided to take advantage. Never put off tomorrow what you could do today. The center is usually bustling and busy, but I got lucky. No long lines here.
No, we anticipated.
In the area across from the Welcome Center is a wall with a bunch of pamphlets which describes the careers and classes available here. If you haven't decided what you want to do, this wall will help you. Once you get in line and talk to a person at the front desk, you can go over to a computer and get started. The process doesn't take long, as long as you have your paperwork and proper identification. The staff is more than happy to assist you. Sometimes on the computer you may get stuck. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's why they're here. If you need help, just raise your hand. They don't mind at all. Things go smooth when you have your paperwork and ID handy. This is an exciting time of the year, and the sooner you get down here, the better. That way, you're sure to have a seat in the class that you need and not be put on a waiting list. This process does not take long at all. It took me all of 15 minutes to get everything taken care of. But that's because there was no line. And this is Carl Culpepper with a reminder. Get to the registration area. Get to the Welcome Center and get everything out of the way so you can spend more time studying and doing your homework. This has been Carl Culpepper for Stormwatch. Thank you, and see you next time.
I hope that was helpful. And like Carl said, the best time to register is now. The sooner you do, the better the chances you'll get to get the classes that you want. Have you ever wondered how MATC got started? Well, let's take a look at this beautiful building we call school. Here's Kyle Rogers.
Milwaukee Area Technical College, also known as MATC, is more than 100 years old. It was founded in 1912 by a 43-year-old man by the name of Robert L. Cooley. Milwaukee Area Technical College was made to help young people that dropped out of school to pick up menial jobs to help their families. Over 28 years, Robert L. Cooley would become a national leader in the development of vocational education. Some of the main jobs that the students would learn back then would be construction, barbering classes, which came in the 1930s, culinary arts, infant care, and dentistry. Now, these are only some of the classes that were offered back then and that are continuing on today. The construction of the entire campus hadn't been finished until the mid to late 90s. The main building was made in 1923, the C building was built in 1965, and the S building was made in 1987. During the 1960s, Milwaukee Public Television channels 10 and 36 were broadcasting out of the C building. During this time, they would open the studio doors to the students. Milwaukee Area Technical College has a long and rich history that is shown in the hallways today. As students pass through the hallways, history is made every day.
Milwaukee Area Technical College sure is a great school. And now after that exhausting little bit, I bet you're hungry again. Let's send it over to Aaron Hall as he shows us how to make slow cooker enchiladas.
When making slow cooker enchiladas, the first thing you do is brown 1 pound of lean ground beef. When brown, add 1 1/4 cups of water and 1 ounce of taco seasoning and let it simmer for 15 minutes. While the meat simmers, mix 3 1/4 cups of cheese, 10.75 ounces of condensed cream of chicken soup, 10.75 ounces of condensed cream of mushroom soup, and 12 ounces of chunky salsa. Then place 2 6-inch corn tortillas on the bottom of the slow cooker. Put a layer of beef and a layer of the cheese mixture Then, keep repeating these steps until you run out of the meat and the mixture. Then, put cheese on top. Then cook on high for 45 minutes. Take it out and serve while hot.
Thanks, Aaron. That looks really good. As some of you out there probably know or didn't know, today is International Student Day around the world, a day of appreciation of all students from around the globe that have or are currently attending different schools, even in sports. Time for a pop quiz. Emmanuel Espino has international facts on basketball.
Basketball, one of the most popular sports in the entire world. From local colleges to the NBA, Basketball is never unheard of. But what exactly are the statistics of countries involved with basketball? Various students are quizzed on these facts. Question 1. How many international players were in the NBA in 2014?
300, something like that, I guess. Yeah, about 300. Yeah, something like that, I guess. I'm assuming.
23.
I would say about 50.
The answer is 92 players. Question 2. How many different countries do you think those players came from?
Yeah, 25 to 30. Yeah, say 25 to 30.
All over the world.
I'd say about 20 different countries.
The answer is 39. Question 3. How many major countries is basketball played in?
Yeah, get 15 to 20.
Many different.
I'd say France, China.
The answer is 52 countries. Question 4. How long do you think basketball has been in the Olympics?
I'm going to go with early 90s. Yeah.
For years.
Let's say about 50 years.
The answer is 80 years. Men began in 1936 and women began in 1976. Well, I hope this quiz didn't hurt your head too much. This is Emmanuel Spino for Stormwatch.
Well, those are interesting facts. It's always good to learn something new every day. And now, to commemorate International Student Day, here is Chris Horton talking with an alum from the television and video production program here at MATC.
Teresa Grundova is an alumni of MATC and also an international student from the Czech Republic. Teresa earned a degree from MATC in television and video production. She was kind enough to answer some questions about her experiences here at the school. During her final year at MATC, she was the president of the International Student Union, and she spoke a little bit about the subject.
So I was a president of International Student Organization here in Milwaukee Area Technical College. I was a member since I started going to school here, but then somehow I became to be a president. I think I did a real good job for a while. We were like taking kids to tours, helping them out when they didn't know where to sign up for classes or when they had a language barrier problems and all that. But then when I was in my last semester of television and video production program, then I wasn't the best leader, that's for sure, because there was everything else after all my projects and everything. So this I pushed aside too. But yeah, I liked it. I liked being a president.
She was able to obtain a certificate in advanced editing here at the college.
In second year of my studies, the previous students suggested that we should take the editing class, the first editing class, or no, the non-linear editing class, because it's going to help us out a lot with our projects for Stormwatch and Panther Vision. And so I took that one and I really liked it. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm good at it too.
She explained that she has a job that she obtained with the degree that she earned from MATC.
So I graduated in May and then took a little break. And since July, I've been working for this big company and I run iMac for them, and I do like interviews and a little green screen stuff, and I really like it. But I'm hoping for more work from them.
Being an international student at MATC can be a tough task, but as Teresa showed us, it is possible to get your degree here and have fun doing it. I'm Chris Horton, Stormwatch.
Wow, she sure is an interesting woman. And thank you, Chris, for that riveting report. And now on behalf of International Student Day, I'm sitting here with Jill Cherney, one of MATC's librarians, who also happens to be an instructor for the English as Second Language department here at MATC. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
How are
Nice
you
to
today?
meet you, Jamal.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm just fine.
Awesome. Well, so what is it like working with international students?
Well, I've done it for many years. Since I was in high school and was on an exchange program to the Philippines and came back, then I started, entertaining people from other countries, helping with refugee projects and immigrants, helping them learn English. And I myself love to travel as well. And it's nice to have some alumni or friends in other countries that you can visit when you're traveling. Teresa was the president of the International Student Organization, for which I'm one of the advisors. She came from Czech Republic, and we enjoyed having her in the library as well because she was a work study student in the library. She was very charming, and she did a real good job as the president of our organization. And this year we have a young lady, Sophia Merli from Italy.
How long have you been the advisor for ISO?
Long time. I don't even remember exactly when, but for a lot of years. And before I was advisor here, I worked at UWM in the International Studies and Scholars Program.
Do you feel like your passion for working with international students came
Yes.
from when you were in the Philippines, or did it start exactly
Absolutely, it started then because I understood how it felt to be a stranger, not to know the language in a place, and not to understand everything that's going on with a different environment and surroundings. Yeah, so because people were kind and helped me, I felt like I need to pay that forward, as they say, to people here that I can reach and help as a part of a way of saying thank you for forever changing my life to something I think that's really worthwhile and valuable. Diversity is beautiful, and international diversity is really, really great too, because we can see a lot of things that we didn't know before, and how mixed other countries are too, and how people deal with problems and the things that they do for fun or do differently from what we do here.
And where would you say the majority of your students come from, or is it really just random, or is there a particular group that you see more of?
Usually whenever there's a problem in the world somewhere and refugees start flowing, we end up getting some in our school. So over the years they've been like maybe from Vietnam and then Laos and Cambodia, and then they were from the Eastern European area because of the fighting in Europe, and then later they've come recently. Many students are the Jain students, and they come from Burma, and there are different ethnic groups within Burma, and some of them don't like each other, so of course that's what we have seen in many countries of the world. And I wish that we'd all learn how to get along together and not to have to have violence and hate, but instead to have appreciation and love and understanding for each other.
You're also one of the librarians here. How long have you been working in the library?
I think about a dozen years or so. Yeah, I'm a reference librarian. I love helping students and see them grow and learn things, and I think it's a very interesting job for me, and I love helping especially people who need some extra explanations or help and who don't know how to use the technology or how to research to find real results.
Okay. And obviously English is your first language?
Oh, yes.
Is there any other languages that you speak?
I speak German. I went on an exchange program to Germany my junior year of undergraduate work. And that was, again, really different because the Asian experience and the European experience were both very different.
Yeah.
And I really loved going to school there, but at the time we didn't have all these nice translating, little handheld things to translate the words. I had to spend a lot of time flipping pages in a dictionary and then writing down the words, because there were a lot of words that people would say and I wasn't sure what they were at first. But my language ability got much better through the time of a year. It improved greatly.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming, Jill.
You're
Really
most
appreciate
welcome.
it. We definitely learned a lot. And thank you for tuning into Stormwatch. Until next time, I'm Jamal Perry, and thank you for watching.
Thank you, too.